Hey guys, so I just wanted to do like really didn't think I'd be in it. I'm in my jammies. No, what? Morning. um, I just figured I'd do, I'm styling on a wig right now. I'm not really doing a whole lot to it, nothing crazy important. I don't know how I set this up to work well the last time I did a wig. Don't look at my hair. We're here for the wig. But I just want to do like a stream of consciousness video, which all my videos basically are anyways, because I ramble on forever. But just while I'm restyling this, and it is an Arta wig. I don't know where the bag went. I don't remember which type. I'll link it below like I always do. Um, it looked darker online than it is in person. It's for a poison ivy thing I'm doing. I had one wig that the color was perfect, but it was way too Ariel looking, like Little Mermaid. So I'm probably just gonna bring both and see which I like best in the pictures. So yeah. And I have like a Game Grumps compilation on in the background. I was gonna put on some like just calming, copy-free music. But I was already watching this, so I just decided to turn on the camera and all that good stuff. And I'll link the compilation, the channel below, because I'll probably go through several compilations like I've been doing. It's just funny. I like watching Let's Plays. So that's pretty much all I watch, because I closed my next Netflix account just because I looked at it, I'm like, I haven't opened this in 6 months. Why am I giving them money? Because I watch just YouTube, Amazon Prime, and Crunchyroll. So I was like, I'm not really using Netflix, so why give them money? Right now I'm just kind of combing her out, and when I come around to this side, well, I might move the camera. I've had a better setup. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But yeah. So this is an Arta wig. I got her yesterday, and so she was really frizzy coming out of the bag. They always are. Synthetic hair does that. All hair does that, really. And so I bathed it in lukewarm water, like barely warm, because I wanted to loosen the curls up a bit, but not too much. And I used conditioner and fabric softener, just kind of get some of the sheen down so it looks a little bit less wig-like, if that makes sense, less synthetic looking, and just more controllable. And occasionally you'll see me spray something, and it is either this is some warm water, well, it was warm, it's not anymore, and fabric softener. I found this has worked for me the best, because like other videos I've tried coconut oil, leave-in conditioner, regular conditioner, stuff like that, which all work pretty well, but I feel like this just gives you, makes it work for you better. And then sometimes I'll spray in this Cantu Thermal Shield to help, and I did that when I blow dried it, and I'll be curling the ends a little bit just to give it a little oomph, just make it look more nice. So it's kind of the color from the animated series, the Batman animated series, so I don't hate it. It's just not, I don't know. We'll just see how it looks when we get to it. So yeah, I'm just kind of combing it out right now, trying to make it look nice and smooth and not tangled, and just really nice. So yeah. I got like I got no sleep last night at all. Despite being really tired and really sleepy. Not able to sleep at all. I don't know what's going on and what I'm watching. But yeah, like I said, I really like, I just started watching Let's Plays back in like October. But I've come to really enjoy them because, like I've mentioned a million times, as I drink my big old cup of coffee. Mm. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just calming her. That's all I'm doing. And if there's a tangle, I use my fingers to break it up. I'm just taking my time with it. But yeah, I started watching Let's Plays in October because my friend, when I was over at my friend's house, she would be watching like Markiplier or something like that a lot. And I was like, why are you watching somebody else play a video game? And then I started watching her play video games, and that got me into playing video games. And it's like, okay, yeah, now I understand. And so it's just like it for me anyways, when they play a game that sounds interesting or something I've been looking forward to playing, it helps me make the decision if I want to spend that $60 on it or not. Video games are expensive, and if the gameplay's not worth it, then and the storyline and all that, it's not worth it, then I'm not gonna don't want to waste $60, and that's a lot of money. There's groceries. That's groceries and a tank of gas if you're a single person. So, you know, which is so I can be like, oh, okay, I'm glad I watched this. I don't need to waste my money on that, or oh, I really need to play this video game now. And also they're just kind of funny. Like a lot of the ones I watch are pretty funny, and they're very relatable. And they're just enjoyable to watch, which is nice. It's good to just kind of, for zoning out, you don't really have to pay too much attention to them. And they're funny, they're a good laugh, they're a way to just forget about all the bad that's going on in the world. Just even if it's just for a little bit, which is nice. That's what I hope my videos are, or so, at least some of mine. I know mine I talk about like more serious topics, but like hopefully there'll be that for somebody. At least some of my videos. Like I'm wanting to do sketches and stuff, which I never thought I would do. Like when I was little, and I feel like all kids do this honestly, but when I was little, me and my friends would always do sketches for like our parents. But they were always kind of like dragging me into it, it felt like. Not that I didn't want to, I was just really shy and easily embarrassed. And I still am easily embarrassed, but I just shake it off a lot better now. And just kind of be like, well, that shouldn't stop me from doing it, because I'm going to be embarrassed anyways, no matter what I do. Like, there's that, this thing going around on Twitter. It's like, what is the most on-brand thing in your secondary schooling, like high school or something like that, or elementary school, that's the most on-brand thing for your life? And mine would be just constant embarrassment and shaking it off. Me in a nutshell, so. You just stop worrying about it after a while. But anyways, we used to do sketches, and they would be a lot of fun, but again, you know, shy and easily embarrassed, even if they were funny or cute or whatever. I am now to the middle part here. I know I've done this better where you guys can see everything I'm doing. Honestly, I'm too tired to move things around. I think I just didn't have this thing I have, this organizer thing I have underneath here. Just have to move that. The cats you're hearing, they get plenty of attention. They're just doing their morning rounds, really. And one's not fixed, and she needs to be fixed. Why are you yelling at me? I can't help you, babe. But, yeah. Hopefully we can do that next week once she's out of heat. That's why she's being that way. She's so small, we were worried about getting her fixed because she's nowhere near the size of her siblings. But she's 3 years old and she's not going to get any bigger, so. I know it's a very long time to wait to fix a cat, but you don't have funds, you don't have funds, and her being so small, like, she's still the size of a kitten, nearly. She's only slightly bigger than a 6-month-old kitten. So we're just like, is it safe for her to go under, like, anesthesia and stuff like that? We're not gonna ever let her out, but still. I mean, I know it's worse if they don't. It's more the anesthesia worry than anything else. But yeah, we would do sketches, and so I'm wanting to do, and like when I was like in middle school, and I kind of kept this with me, kind of like there's like, I don't really have a word for it. I'm sure there's a word out there, but just pipe dream's the word, kind of thing. Is like in middle school, I like really wanted to be an actress. And my parents have always been good, especially my dad, have been good about indulging our creative stuff. Even if it was just like a flight of fancy, but we went and talked to like the local theater and stuff like that, because I didn't want to do stuff with the school, just because, I don't know, it was really awkward. And it's just like, I'm not sure how this is for other places, but like our drama people were the popular kids. And I was not a popular kid. I've always been weird. I wasn't the weird kid that sat by themselves at lunch, but I was an odd one, and I still am. It's okay to be odd. So I didn't really want to do anything with the school, and the drama teacher was very intimidating. And the one in high school was very intimidating too. So I kind of just, they really didn't do much with kids. I live in a small town, so we're just now starting to get more things for kids and stuff like that. And that kind of just that whole thought process just fell by the wayside. And then college, I did this thing called stunt. I went to Wesleyan College, and we have a tradition. It's actually tonight. I said I was gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna go. Probably not gonna go, to be honest, but we have this tradition that's 123 years old now. And okay, so I gotta turn it. Just trying to make her look smoother. I mean, she looks pretty smooth now, but like down here is a tangled mess. It's a tradition, and it started because there was a junior to become senior. She wasn't able to come back her senior year because of funds. She wasn't able to afford it. So her sisters, and by sisters I mean Wesleyan sisters, Wesleyan started the first sororities. It was the first women's college, all that good stuff. And then we moved from a class system in 1913 because hazing was really bad. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff. But yeah, so her sisters came together to make a community fundraiser, and they did it to raise enough money to get her a scholarship to be able to come back her senior year. And they did that by putting on 4 different plays. There's 4 different classes. You have the Golden Hearts, which is what I am, Pirates, Purple Knights, and Green Knights. And I think they're talking about changing that. I don't know. I don't pay attention to what they're doing anymore. But so they put on 4 different plays and made it a competition for the Stunt Cup. And the Stunt Cup is the most coveted award you can get. Golden Hearts won it 4 years in a row. Maybe 5, because we're the best. Like the class after ours won it. But, don't fall. So it's a competition. You get the Stunt Cup. Whoever has the best play wins the Stunt Cup. And I just get into this and I'm like, okay, I'll just stop talking. And yeah, so it brought the whole community together. The 4 classes did their plays. I have a towel on her. It keeps the wig from slipping. And she was also wet because I washed her. So I just do that. Just a little tippy tip. So they did that. They were able to raise some money for her to come back, and that's just been a tradition ever since. And it's changed here and there. But my junior year, I was on the PR board as just like part of the PR board, because there's the exec board, and then each executive has a board that they take care of. There's commissions, there's PR, there's something else, and then you got the director. I don't remember. I still have residual stress from this. When February hits, I'm like, why am I so stressed out? I'm not doing anything. Oh, it's stunt month. It's not February anymore. It's stunt month. And they start, I think we met, you get your like your boards together, I want to say early October. Yeah, I want to say early October. I'm trying to remember. And then you get the writing committees together, and they start writing. So they have from October to January to get the script done. And then you have February to the last weekend in February to rehearse and paint the backdrop and get any costumes made. And you're doing school in the meantime, and if you have a job, you're doing that too. So it is a lot. But so I was on the PR board, so I was a little mushroom. Ours was kind of Mario themed. It was really cute. It was like a mixture of Hercules and Mario, and just about self-growth, and it was super cute. It was absolutely adorable. I loved it. It was pretty funny too. We even had a link, and yeah, it was just super nerdy, super cute. So I was little toadstool mushroom. I had like, me and two other girls had 2 lines, but we were adorable. I really enjoyed it, and actually, despite hating public speaking, I actually really enjoyed being on stage. Like, it was very intimidating, very scary, but it was so much fun. And then the next year I was a PR board exec, so I had to be the one helping get shit together and getting people to come to it and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. And as a PR board, you can be in the play or as the exec. I'm not sure why that got put in for that one position, but I chose not to, because I was like, no, I don't need all that on my plate. I may have made a few C's that semester. Well, just 2. But yeah, so that kind of re-sparked that thing. And then after college, I got a job at a historic house. So I was kind of always putting on a show when I did a tour, getting very nervous at the start, but then once you get into it, it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so all that to say is, like, I want to start doing sketches, even if they're really stupid. Like the one I posted Friday is so dumb, but I absolutely love it, and I just want them to be fun and stupid, and hopefully longer than 38 seconds. But like start writing just stupid things and do them with my friends on our weekends off, because I'm like, we're all almost 30, and I'm looking at our friends' life, and all we do is go to work, go home, maybe play video games, maybe on the weekends go out with our friends, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I can just tell it's just like we need something else. Like, we're just not satisfied. And it's just, we want something more substantial, something more satisfying. And I mean, maybe I'm just projecting. It's completely possible, but if they're down, I definitely want to include them in like the writing process and filming them and being in them and stuff like that. And if they don't want to, that's okay too. I can do it all on my own, I guess. But that's just a little something I want to try to do, and it may go nowhere, but you don't know if you don't try. So I think I have gotten her all smoothed out, looking like it's one piece of hair, because it had more like ringlets, kind of. Well, I had to recurl it to make it wavy again, and then comb it back out so it wouldn't be ringlets. But now it's not like separate ringlets, separate chunks of hair. It's all except for like this over here. I don't know what it's doing. There, that looks better. There we go. So I'm gonna heat up the curling iron. I love that I have all these. I just have hairstyling tools and I never use them. My hair is like 2 inches long. Well, it's a little bit longer now because I didn't get a haircut. But basically it's going to take it just a second to heat up. So what I'm just going to do is just kind of curl the ends in a little bit and then trim it up at the end so it's not all bleh. Hate it when that tuft is down. But yeah, that's just something I want to do. I think it'll be fun. Another thing, it's not pertaining to the channel, but I just want to do photo shoot, just random ass photo shoots to get to learn how to use my camera better. Cause I was like, since I didn't sleep, I was just on Twitter. I now realize the appeal of Twitter, because you just say whatever's on your mind at 3 a.m. in the morning. You just put it out into the ether. So, but when I was like 18, I didn't actually want to go to college. I had no desire to go to college. I only started applying to colleges because my friends were like, you need to apply, and my parents were like, we'd like it if you went to college. And I know my grandfather really wanted me to go. Even though he didn't get to see me, he didn't even get to see me go to graduate school or high school. But, so I'm like, I don't want to go. I just want to get in my car and move across the country. At the time, I had a beat up old truck that could barely make it to the next town over, let alone across the country. But, because all I've really truly wanted to do was travel. Like, that's the base of everything. I was like, because when I was in middle school, Lord of the Rings had just come out. Like, I think Two Towers and Return of the King came out while I was in middle school. I know that Return of the King did, because I saw it in theaters, and it was glorious. These ends bother me so much. And so, just like, we're a lot more, movies were doing, like, out of Hollywood, on location kind of thing. And I was like, well, if I'm an actress, I could travel. I just want to travel and get paid for it. However that may come. That would be wonderful. I love traveling. So now I'm just trying to get it in decent chunks so it's still pretty all together, but not too much for my flat iron. And let me do this real quick. And I used to hate writing too, but yeah, I didn't want to go to college. I did apply for some art schools for photography. I was taking photography and graphic design my senior year, and I really liked it. I was actually really into it, quite passionate about it, really. And, you know, I built a portfolio of digital work and of, cause my parents, again, even if it costs an arm and a leg, they still are pretty good about, indulging in ours, me and my sister, creativity and stuff like that. I've always been pretty good about that, which I appreciate. But also wanting us to be like, this is a hobby, you know, make sure you go to school and get a job and take care of yourselves. And I did that. I have 4 degrees and still living at home. I moved out for a while, but bills just, when medical bills eat up all your savings and you can't pay rent, you kind of got to figure something else out. So that's the life of That's a life. I'm just trimming off these extra bits right here. So I'm going to use my Conair Instaheat. That's what it's called. I got it at Target, I'm pretty sure. Pretty much get all my stuff at Target. Yeah, I said this was an Arda wig. I'm pretty sure I do not need to curl it up that much, you guys. Let me just go crazy. And I have it on a low heat, and Arda wigs can take up a little bit more heat than like your average wig. So I'm just gonna leave it for a second. But yeah, so I applied to art schools, didn't get into any of them. So like May 2009, like right before graduation, I applied to a local community college a lot of my friends were going to. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Just doing it because it was the right thing to do, you know. But it really wasn't the right thing for me. That school wasn't right for me. I didn't bother to look into other schools. I just jumped right into it. And it was a really bad decision. And I didn't know anything about financial aid. Nobody told me anything. Like, I'm going to do a whole rant about the American education system from elementary to college. It is just a fucking disaster. That's not this video. But I ended up actually dropping out of college. Because I decided to be a French major. Just because, again, based on travel, I was like, maybe I could work as a translator at the UN or something. Part of me wishes I stuck with that. Because I really do want to be fluent in a language. I was pretty good at, like, learning a language is really difficult for me. Because, I mean, learning basic English grammar and structure and stuff like that was really difficult for me growing up. And that's my first language. It's spoken around me constantly. I'm not trying to curl it all the way. I just want to curl the bottoms. I'm getting too happy with it. But yeah, I didn't like the classes. There were classes I really shouldn't have been in the first place. I had one class I really liked, and that was my film class I was in. It was really, really interesting. And I think then I actually started to gain appreciation for writing, even though I hated it. I've always been pretty decent at writing. I just really hated doing it. It was very tedious to me. I'm just like, ugh. Now I actually prefer to write out and type out my thoughts. But yeah, so in 2009, I graduated high school. Then I went to college, and about right after midterms, so Octoberish, I dropped out. And I didn't tell my parents. They just assumed I finished the first semester. Like, how is that? They kind of just let us. I mean, my sister was still in school. They were much more focused on what she was doing because she was younger. They're like, they expected me to go to school and come back. I was an adult now. They didn't expect much else. But yeah, I ended up dropping out, like I said, multiple times now. And God, I'm really trying to stay out of frame because I look like I haven't slept. What, baby? You made me forget what I was saying. I was talking about dropping out of college. So I took a year and a half off, and I went back eventually, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, because I just had no idea at all, not a single clue. So I ended up going back to a different community college that was so much better for me, that I wish I had looked at in the first place. It was Georgia Military College, or GMC, and they're the local branch they had, or they have rather, and it was really, really good. I went in as general because I was gonna see if they had French again and just start back on that and go from there. And it's like, and I was looking through theirs. I was just like, well, I'll do general studies, I guess, because I'd rather prefer to do history because history is really interesting and I'm good at that. And then I kept looking. I was like, oh, they do have history, so that's what I went with. And I got a joy out of researching and writing again, I still to this day find it very tedious and frustrating when you can't get the right words out, or you can't find this one source you're looking for and stuff like that. But I found I don't want to be a writer by any means. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to I wanted, well, I say that, but I'm kind of started writing a video game script, which is again very tedious and frustrating. And you think you have the greatest idea in the world, and then you read back over it and you're like, this is trash. And that's about as far as I'm gonna go with it. Shit, what was I saying, my dudes? Oh yeah, writing. And just a general love for history. Like, I already really enjoyed it. Like, I was so good at it. I've always loved history. I don't think I've gotten anything lower than an A in history. I mean, in college, yeah. Nope. Okay. Well, you didn't do what I wanted at all. Look at that. Look at. You can't see it all. Just kind of went bloom. This is doing the opposite of what I wanted to. Just wanted to curl under. I hope if I put hairspray in it, but there's so much in it already. I don't want to add extra. I think I've talked about how I don't like crunchy hair. So I found a love for history, and I met that one guy I was engaged to. It's in my friendship or relationships, or it's in a video somewhere. There's a whole list of them. But met him there. Good, bad, whatever. I mean, obviously it didn't work out, and that is definitely for the best that it didn't work out for many reasons. But so I was doing that. So it was because it's only a 2-year college. So I got the history degree, and there was a time period between when I finished the degree, because I actually finished the degree in 18 months, or less than that. Yeah, like, I finished it quickly, because I did summer classes. So I knocked it out of the park and got it. So there's about a 6-month period between when I was done with that degree and transferring schools. So I decided to go and get a secondary education degree. So it was just like, well, if I can't get a job in a museum or something like that, because that was the goal. Actually, the original goal was to go back to school for cultural anthropology, again based in travel and studying cultures and stuff like that. Then I realized, and then transfer from GMC to like Brown or some Ivy League school, because I was going to get a 4.0. That was I graduated at 3.5. I had some math classes that were just tough, so I was just like, well, I'll settle for a mid-range school. And you don't have to go to Ivy League school to get a good quality education at all, in the slightest. It's all about how the teachers are and how they do their curriculum and stuff like that, and how well the teachers are. But that was my thought process, was get this secondary education, and then I'll just carry it on as like a double major or as my minor at the next school. So the school, because I was dating this guy and we're talking about getting married, I didn't want to go too far away, because he had just gotten a job with the Board of Education, the local Board of Education, and because he's 4 years older than me, and yeah, so I was like, well, I can be a teacher if all else fails. Well, I did that. I did my observations. It was like, and then because I had already talked to him. Oh yeah, it was either Oglethorpe up in Atlanta or Wesleyan. And I ended up settling Wesleyan because I visited there and I loved it and all this and that. There's a little bit of they left a bad taste in my mouth after grad school for some bullshit they did, but I won't get into that. They know what they did. That's all I gotta say. They know what they did, and they know what they've done to others that also have left a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, I completely enjoyed my undergraduate time there. It was the best choice for me at that period of my life. I absolutely loved it. I would do it all over again if I could go for the full 4 years. I would have loved to do that. But yeah, so I visited. I was just like, all right, I love this school. It has a lot of history. I didn't know about its bad history yet. I found that out my senior year. It has a lot of the South likes to sweep things under the rug, especially when it comes to one's things in a negative light, like racism and things like that. There's a whole like Atlanta Journal-Constitution article about it, and I actually was one of the people who did the research on that. We went through all the archives and just everything, searched everything we could for one of our class projects. We found some things that weren't so savory. We found some cool things, but we found some not so good things too. Hopefully in the next few years, Wesleyan will realize their mistakes and fix it, but my hopes aren't high. But yeah, so that was that thought process. And once I got my secondary education degree, which only took like 4 months, or the associates, that is, from GMC, I emailed my advisor and was like, yeah, I don't want to minor in this because I did the observations in the secondary, so it's high school. Juniors are the best because they're just stuck there in the middle. They've gotten through the majority of the crazy hormones. And they're like, well, we might as well do our work because we still have a whole another year. Seniors, they got the senioritis, but for the most part, they're good. 9th graders, holy fucking shit. They are hellions. And 10th graders aren't much better. I don't know how middle school teachers do it. I really don't. Or teachers in general. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this at all. This is awful. And my teacher's like, I can see that. She'd only met me like once. She's like, yeah, I can see that. I'm like, is it that obvious? I don't like it. They're just not my cup of tea. See, now it's kind of showing the chunks of hair again, and I don't want that. Guys, I don't want that. Just want them to be curled under. What I might do is clip them, roll them under. I think that's what I did with my Black Widow wig. So, because it's not doing anything. Just, see, not doing what I wanted to. So I did history, and I really loved that, and I worked at the museum on campus, and I learned a lot there, and I was just like, I really want to get a museum job. I'm still applying to museum jobs if they pop up anywhere and everywhere. Because, I mean, if the creative stuff doesn't work out, that's whatever. It would suck. I really want it to work out, because I really, really enjoy doing it. I know I've only been doing it for, like, well, in this capacity, for 2 months. I'm trying to find my Clippies. Oh, my Clippies, I don't know where they went. So what I'm going to do is curl them in, like so, and clip it, hairspray it, and just let it sit. And I'll probably blow dry it too. So, comb it out. I think I've mentioned that I like artist wigs because they tend to be a lot thicker. A lot more like real hair, even though it's synthetic. But, I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, but I would like to have a museum job if the history stuff doesn't work out. Or at least a job that I like, that I enjoy, that I get satisfaction out of. A lot of people like to define themselves by their work. It's a very baby boomer idea, like 1960s and older. But I'm like, that shouldn't be your... It should be your passion that defines you and your character, not your job. Especially if it's a job you hate. Sure, you're on time every day, you do good, you're consistent, you get promoted, all that, and this and that, but, I mean, but You know, what's the point if you don't have someone to share that with? If you don't have friends to share that your promotions and your achievements with, if you've isolated yourself, and you know, I mean, I don't ever see myself really getting married or having a family, but I don't want kids. I mean, shit, my tubes are tied. I do not want kids. I've made that very, very clear. And I make that very, very clear to anyone I date. I was like, I don't want kids. You're not going to pressure me into it because it's just not something I want. And, I mean, the only other option I'd have is adoption, which I think you should definitely adopt. Think about adoption before any other thing. Because there's so many kids in our foster system that just go through hell. Because that's another system that's completely corrupted and fucked up, to say the least. I don't have enough clips, you guys. I got some pretty strong bobby pins. That should work. See, I did this. No, it fell out. Bobby pin to hold this side down. I don't know where all my clips went. I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about, you guys. Yeah. My coffee's gone cold. I'm sad. Gross. Turn you off. I legit forgot what I was talking about. I know I was talking about like kids, but that wasn't an original topic. Oh yeah, just like once you retire, what are you gonna do? Like, you spent your whole life working and trying to achieve that you didn't give yourself time to enjoy anything or to build a hobby or do anything like that. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go stir crazy and, you know, this and that, and life is so short. I mean, in human history, say you're here for 85 years. That's not even a full century. That's such a short amount of time on this planet. You should enjoy it. I mean, obviously, you know, be able to take care of yourself financially and in every way. Like, everyone needs to learn how to cook. It's not hard to cook, and it's not hard to cook well. So definitely learn how to do that, and take care of yourself, obviously, like, financially, and be stable, and take care of yourself mentally and emotionally and creatively and passionately. Because, I mean, if the company closes, they're not going to give a shit about you. You're replaceable. You are replaceable at any job you work at. Even if it's your own business, you're still replaceable. But you're not replaceable in your own life. If that makes any sense. So live your life for you. Don't live it for a job. Don't live it for other people. Do things, even if it has to be on the weekends or your days off or at night after work. Do it for you. Do something that just takes you out of the mundanity of work, home, work, home, work, home. You go out with friends on the weekend, you know. Do something fun. Do something for yourself. I mean, obviously do it responsibly and smartly and don't go crazy. But, you know, just be good to yourself. You're more than your job. That doesn't define you. It can make for a very boring life too. And I know people who absolutely love working. I'm like, that's cool. And if that's what you're happy doing, that's great. That's fantastic. But don't assume other people are. And like, that's what, like, I have to remind myself, not everybody is creative. Not everybody cares to be creative. So, I mean, you may enjoy art and music, but it's not your passion. And what other type of art, and that's it. And that's perfectly okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you like going home, going to work, and just sitting on the couch and watching TV and enjoying that, that's perfectly fine. But there still needs to be people for the TV to entertain you. So just don't shit on each other. If that makes sense. Just let people be. Find more clippies. I found one more clippy. Well, I need like 3 more. My room is a damn mess. I was sick all last week and a good chunk of this week. So I just let everything go to shit. So as long as I get some videos up. So I talked about like being sick and how like it doesn't, well yeah, it does sometimes put me in a depression, but like the reason stuff hasn't put me in a depression, just I'm like I want to be consistent with this video stuff. I'm just starting out. It's not like I can just stop. Well, I could just stop, but I don't want to. So Lord. Sorry, I'm watching this and it's just like, oh my god, why am I watching this? Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Put more on that. Are we talking about being good to each other? Letting people do what they want to do? I look like a hot, tired mess. It's not so bad if that would just stay on that side. But I need a haircut. I also need to get those plastic clippies. Apparently they don't leave such an indent and they're a lot lighter. Oh yeah, like I've just been sick. I just want everything to work out, you know? Be nice. I'm just putting that out there in the universe. In the void. Like I just want everything to work out. In whichever way it may be. Just get my... There they are. Sorry, you're very jostled right now, very shaky. I'll stop in a minute, I promise. I get my pins. Okay, now I already talked for nearly an hour. Yeah. I know, I say that incessantly, I know. Oh yeah, it was like all about this Twitter post I posted earlier. And other passion, so one passion was photography. I really enjoyed it, and I was kind of really deflated after getting those rejection letters from those art schools. And one of them didn't even send me my portfolio back. Like, you rude asses. And they were pretty fucking good. Like, I won't lie. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but for someone who barely knew what they were doing, they're not bad. And that's like another thing. I feel like, and again, this will be in the education thing, but colleges expect you to be a pro at 18, and you're like, but I'm coming here to learn how to be a pro. That's the whole point of college. It's like, what is this thought process? So I think it's just how much they want to teach you versus whatever, I don't know. Again, I'm gonna do like a real research, thought out education rant. And the other thing I was super into, I think that was like the thing I was known for in high school, was Taekwondo. My sister started doing it. She always been into like martial arts and Japanese culture, and I mean Taekwondo is Korean, but she's just into anything and everything that came out from Asia pretty much. And she still pretty much is. I mean, we're both weeboos now. And I saw her do it, and they had a cardio class after all the Taekwondo classes for like the adults and whatnot, and I had already had my kidney transplant by then, and I wasn't doing any exercise to help counteract the steroids, and genetically I'm already I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. And it's not dispose because that means thrown away, but it's like that. It is a word similar to what I'm looking for. Disposition's the word I'm looking for. To have like big, thick hips. It runs in both sides of my family. Childbearing hips. You know, I don't want no children. So, I look back on when I had just gotten out of the hospital after my kidneys failed, and you could tell I looked sick. I was like 94 pounds. Still somehow had thick hips. It was not cute, you guys. It wasn't healthy, and it wasn't like I was trying to be small. I just was, because I was sick. My body wasn't working right. So I had gained like a ton of weight. I think at that point I was like 125, which you go from 94 pounds to 125. It looks staggeringly different. So I started doing that. Me and my friend started doing that, and then I was like, you know what? I want to get into, because I would watch Ariana's classes. Ariana's my sister. And I would watch her classes, and I was like, I want to do that. That looks like a lot of fun. And so I ended up competing and getting my first degree black belt. I was the state champ of 2008 in Extreme Weapons. It's where you did you came up with your own weapons routine, and you could put it to music or whatnot. Got state champ. I could have sworn that I got state champ in traditional weapons and forms too, but the patches aren't on the back of the uniform, so I was like, maybe I made that up. I don't know, but I started getting back into that last year to get my second degree. Then I went to Brazil for grad school. It was part of the program. You get a $40,000 extra in debt, and you get a master's degree, a laptop, and a trip abroad for 2 weeks. So we went to Brazil. Not for fun, though it was quite fun. For learning about businesses and stuff in another country. But if I had stayed in it, I'd be a 4th degree. I mean, I just didn't have the time or the funds. It's very expensive, especially if you're competing every weekend. Like, I put everything into there. I was doing it 6 times a week. Like, I would be at classes from 4 to 9, Monday through Friday. And testings would be on Saturday, and tournaments would be on Saturdays. So that's what I would be doing. I put everything into that, and I absolutely loved it. Honestly, it was an obsession, but it was a healthy obsession, as healthy as obsessions can be. So like that's one thing I wish I had stuck with, and sticking with photography and not letting those rejection letters make me put the camera up. So I feel like it definitely deflated me and discouraged me. And I feel like if I kept going with it, I would know every little function about this. Like, I know I remember some things like aperture and things like that, but technology has changed so much in the last 10 years. And I'm like, what does this button do? You have filters on this now? What? And honestly, I was just going to use my phone. But again, my parents were just like, and I had mentioned that I was going to buy this camera with my tax refund. Because I was just like, bills are going to be there, so I might as well treat myself. The bills aren't going anywhere. Even if I used my whole tax refund, the bills are still going to be there. So I'm just going to use it for something fun. Oh yeah, I said I was going to hairspray these. I didn't hairspray them. I'm using the Aussie Instafreeze. This trash can has been through a lot. It really has. Now it's getting hairsprayed on. Just really disrespectful to it. Come here. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. Get the hairdryer. almost done because I'm just going to let them sit for a while and hope they look how I want them to. And I'll post a picture on the socials. I got all the socials. Well, the 3 big ones. Even though Facebook's not really a thing anymore. And Instagram's really gone to shit since Facebook bought them, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, so Taekwondo, not being discouraged and keeping with photography. So imagine how good I'd be after 10 years of that. And then the next thing, which does relate to what I'm doing, is cosplaying. I started cosplaying in 2010. So nearly 10 years ago. And I really enjoyed it. And my friend who helps me my cosplays now is the same friend who was helping me my cosplays then, and I've seen her skills grow exponentially, and I thought they were amazing 10 years ago, and I've learned so much from her. But if I would just imagine how good I'd be if I stuck with cosplaying, even like here and there, not consistently, or not like all the time, just maybe 1 or 2 costumes a year. Holy shit, I'd be amazing. Not to toot my own horn, but just like compared to what I've learned in the last 6 months to a year, just that knowledge and growth over 10 years is so good. Because I want to get good with the cosplay stuff enough where, because I mean, I'm not going to be young forever, so I mean, I look really young, so I can, you know, keep doing this probably until my 40s, like, hopefully, hopefully professionally and get paid for it, because that would be really cool. But I mean, if not, that's okay. And if not, I want to be good enough where I can like do costumes for movies and plays, and you know, have transferable skills that I'm still doing something creative. And I know that can really burn out. I have friends who actually do that, and they're like, they enjoy it, but they're just like, I don't want to sew my own costumes when I get home because I do that at work, which is totally understandable. Completely. 100%. But I want to make it a transferable skill, a good skill that I can go into a profession with if I need to. So yeah, that was the 3 big things. They're not regrets, because they're things I'm picking back up. I'm hoping to go. I stopped in June. Yeah, I went to Brazil in June, and then my work schedule was crazy when I started that job. And yeah, I just didn't have the time. And then I ended up quitting that job. I worked at Publix in customer service, and it was fucking rough. I didn't want to get back into retail. I worked as a customer service person, or customer service. I worked as assistant manager at Soma Intimates, which is a lingerie store. Quality clothing, love it. Best customer service you'll have. But me and the new district manager ended up not getting along, and I'm like, well, I'm burnt out anyways. On top of us not getting along, like I had been thinking about quitting for a while, and you know, trying to find something, hoping to find something else. I'm kind of already looking, and then she came on, and we just did not see eye to eye at all. And I was like, you know what? You're obviously not going anywhere, so I'll just peace out. And I was in grad school. I had been in grad school for about 6 months at that point, and I was just like, maybe more than that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on school. I've already moved back into my parents' house. You know, don't have to worry about rent. I'm just piecing the fuck out. And that's what I did. And then I started at Publix in March, April, because I mean, it's not like I wasn't job hunting. I was job hunting crazy amounts. I still am. I was job hunting while I was at Publix, and it wasn't what I wanted to do. It was just something to get me through grad school. I didn't want to keep doing it, and then it just all fell to shit too. And part of me is like, well, maybe it's you. I'm like, no, it's not me. I mean, part of it's me because I was still good at my job, but it wasn't that I was bad at my job. It's just like I didn't want to be doing the job I was doing. And I actually had gotten another job in January that told me like it was going to pay me well, it was going to get full benefits, this and that, because I was only part-time at Publix too on top of that, and there was no like me going full-time or anything like that. And then you just have to I was putting up with too much shit on both sides from customers and other employees, so yeah. And then my first day in this job, after the interview, everything they said in orientation was contradictory from the interview and the job description. And then they just kept, the way they kept talking about it, I was just like, is this even legal? I'm just like, I don't feel safe about this. I don't feel secure about this job. So I just didn't show up the next day. I was like, nope. I ghosted them because I'm like, you weren't honest with me. I don't have to give you a reason why I'm not showing up. And that's why I'm unemployed. Man just ran across my TV screen. I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's not safe. That's not smart. So I've just been job hunting since then, and while I literally apply to 5 jobs a day. Like, I'm not just sitting on my ass. I'm not just doing whatever. I am putting my energy and passion into this, into the videos and to other things, and just trying to get better at it, more comfortable with it, come up with new ideas because I enjoy it. Even when I get a full-time job, I'm still going to be doing this after I get off at work and on the weekends, and still try to be consistent with 5 videos a week and stuff like that, because I do genuinely enjoy, even if nothing comes out of it other than pure self-indulgent joy, I still want to keep doing it. So yeah, so I'm going to give this a quick little blow dry. I'm putting it on warm, I don't know if you can see, warm and then low, and it's a Conair as well, 1875. Got it at Target years ago. You're doing this again? I've been wanting to work properly today. And also with this, like, I'm learning skills. Like, I'm learning how to use a camera, I'm learning how to record properly, I'm learning how to edit. Those are transferable skills I could use in another profession. So, you know, it's not like I'm just sitting on my ass not doing anything. So, I don't know why I feel like I have to defend myself, but I'm just like, promise you, I'm working towards a goal, I'm working towards personal goals, I am applying to jobs, you know, all that. And I have a safety net that allows me to do this, and I'm very, very grateful for it. So, yeah, so, blow drying. We don't want to go too crazy on it. Too crazy on my heat. probably gonna have to redo some of them that kind of fell as I did that, but we're just gonna let those little things sit. So this is what it looks like at the moment. You see the one that fell? Yeah. I don't necessarily want it that short, but whatever. Speaking of Twitter, and I'll finish up, but this, I just thought about this. It was hilarious to me. Again, my 3 a.m. can't sleep ramblings online. Purely self-indulgent. I mean, that's all social media is to compare yourself and be self-indulgent. But, I posted, it was just like, I can joke about wanting a sugar daddy, and then in parentheses I put, I do not want one, and have messages instantly, but I can apply to 5 jobs, at least 5 jobs a day for 2 months and not even get nothing. And the first like, guess what the first like was? Yep, it was a sugar daddy. I was like, do you not know how to read? Do you not know how to read? Like, the allure of it, yes. But I mean, in another rambling, I was like, I have less emotional range than an AI robot right now. I can't give somebody the love and support that they need, let alone fake love and support. Like, I can't. I am out of emotion. I just have to take care of me and myself right now. Like, if I'm already, like, this is not to say I don't love my friends and my family. I do. I just don't have extra to give to somebody else right now. Somebody new, and build something and try to make sure it's healthy and good, because if I got in a relationship right now, it would not last probably 2 months. So and it's not like I would be toxic, I would not be emotionally there, not be emotionally supportive, and that's not good. It's not because I'm depressed or anything, it's just I'm not ready for anything. And I don't have the emotional range right now. Like Hermione says to Ron, you have the emotional range of a teaspoon. I'm pretty sure she said that to him. In what, the second book? I don't remember. I'm tired. I haven't slept. Can you tell? You can tell. Alright, so I'm just gonna let these sit like this for a little bit. Just see how they look. I'll take them down, see how they look, and then I might pin them back up. Maybe I only have to pin a couple back up and let them sit. That's the fun thing about wigs. You just gotta wait. Cosplay in general is a lot of waiting. Like my Atlanta cosplay, the costume's been done since last month, since January. It took a day to make. The wig took longer than anything else. And it's the casual mom, Atlanta, Aquamom's mom, why she's at the lighthouse, not her suit or the Lost Paradise suit. But I've been waiting on the Eva foam for like 3 weeks now to make the her trident. Yeah. So a lot of it, because it's coming out of China, it's cheaper. It's still good quality. It was cheaper, but it takes a long time to get here. I'm messing with the cap on the bobby pins because anxiety. I don't know what to do. I had a teacher in grad school. She didn't do it to me, but she would do it to other students. They would just spin around in their chairs and be like, "Are you anxious because I'm standing behind you?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm just spinning around in the chair." Like, you have a chair. If you have a spinning chair, you're going to spin in it. I'm just saying. But I do have anxiety. That's a completely different subject. But, yeah, I'll leave it there. My tired, sleepy face. And yes, I'm wearing a muumuu. And they're comfortable. Don't shit on muumuus, man. Just try them. Get a quality one from Soma. Even though I didn't leave on the best of terms. I still shop there. I still love their products. It's super soft clothing. Super good quality. My bras are all like at least 2 years old, and they look brand new. You just got to take care of them. Don't put them in the dryer. Lay them flat to dry. Or, I mean, you see my laundry in the background all the time. That's my bras drying on hangers. It's better than being put in a dryer. So that's your laundry lesson for today. Hopefully, you enjoyed my relentless rambling, unfocused rambling, like always. Maybe if I just get more sleep, I'll be more focused. I'm not gonna get more sleep. Please. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, I know this setup's not great, you couldn't see everything. I'm thinking the last time I did a wig tutorial, I didn't have this thing that this thing's sitting on top of, so I'll have to move that and then angle the camera better. I think that's what it is. Because last time you could see the whole wig, and now you can only see like this part. But hopefully there were some tips and tricks in there that were interesting, or helpful. Didn't have a whole lot to do to this wig. That's why I bought it. Again, like I've said, buy a wig where you have to do very little too. It makes life so much easier. And again, I will post how it turns out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. I mean, my Facebook's just my Instagram feed, essentially. I don't add anything else. I just have it automatically go over there. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this hour-long plus rambling of in-wig styling kind of thing. I may do it more. I may not. Who knows? It's just thoughts. So yeah, I hope you have a great weekend. Well, this will go up on Tuesday, so never mind. I'm filming on Saturday, but it'll go up on Tuesday. So I hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great Tuesday. A lot of people don't like Tuesdays, and I understand why, but it's gonna be good. The weather's supposed to, the weather here is supposed to be nice. Unseasonably nice, but nice. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week and a wonderful end of the month. And hopefully you get your tax refund and you're able to either pay some bills or do something fun with it. All that good stuff. And I hope you have a great, great week, like I said. And I love you guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. And I will see you in the next video. And boop, the like button, subscribe button, and I will see you later. I love you guys. Bye.